media is funny because you follow people and you see only a snippet of their life, right? And it's the part of their life that they want you to see because they enjoy it. We do mostly gardening things on here, seed starting right now, but that is only tucked in the middle of the other mundane things I have to do during the day. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4 and a pastor's wife. So welcome to my home where I grow veggies and flowers and do normal things. Hey, I am popping on here to share with you where I am in my seed starting and where we are kind of in our schedule. At the end of February, I had quite a list of things that needed to get sown. And we had so much snow on the ground, probably 2.5 feet of snow at that point. We had just started coming out of like super negative temperatures. And I thought, I think I'm just gonna push everything back a week. And now I'm wondering if I made a mistake because yesterday was 68, today is supposed to be 65. We've probably had about 18 inches of snow melt in the last couple of days, so we can see like the grass and there's just kind of patches of snow everywhere at this point. Like the snow banks are still kind of tall, but are definitely making progress. This is fall spring. We are having 19-degree temperatures, I think, again next week. So I can't get too bogged down by the spring, but we are definitely farther behind than we were last year. This time last year, I was planting out peas in my raised beds because it was just, there was really no forecast of snow at all or super cold temperatures. We had a very mild winter last year. This year, we are supposed to get dumped again with snow. So there's more snow coming. So I'm not going to be planting anything out. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm not even going to plant the greenhouse yet. I'm going to wait on that as well. But we do have some seeds that need to get sown. I feel a little bit behind, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm behind or not. It's so hard to know with the weather sometimes, but this is what we're doing this week. So I already did peppers and tomatoes. I will link the video from last week so that you could take a look at that, the different tomato varieties I'm doing this year. I already did my larkspur and stalk. I'm waiting for those to germinate. This is the second tray of them, so I have some that are about 3 weeks ahead of these ones. And then I did already do verbena. I'm not sure how the verbena is going to go. I couldn't really find a lot of information about starting verbena from seed. So I am just following Johnny's recommendation on the back of the seed packet, and we'll see if it does okay. I'm skipping the lavender. The lavender is pretty finicky, and we're just not going to do finicky this year. I have enough finicky things to deal with in my life that I'm not going to do more finicky things. So I did already pre-sprout ranunculus. Those are getting going. The first batch that I did is still not all the way sprouted yet. They have started. I dug down and checked them, and they have started, but they didn't pre-sprout as quickly as I expected them to. So I'm still ahead of the game on those compared to last year, because last year I only got them in the ground in the middle of April. At least I've got them pre-sprouted, and they will be pre-sprouted by the time I put them in the ground, so that will be good. So I need to get going on basil. We're doing cinnamon basil and an opal basil that's going to be put in a 10-20 tray for the field. And then I'm doing the Genovese basil for pots for the farm stand and for myself. I'm going to start yarrow. I'll put a picture on the screen. It is the Colorado mix, I believe. And so I'm going to get some of that started, and those are going to end up going in the raised beds because I like for them to come back every year. I'm going to start some status. I had very terrible luck with status last year. I don't know why, other than it was really dry and everything was terrible. But I don't know specifically why I didn't do good with the status. but we'll try again. I'm going to start straw flower. I have 3 different varieties of straw flower I'm starting. I'll put pictures up on the screen. I promised myself I was not going to do straw flower this year. I don't like straw flower at all. I don't like the way it looks, and I don't like the texture of it. Like, it's very crunchy, and I don't like that. But I'm going to start it because I'm going to try drying it to have some things for the fall. So I am giving it a whirl. I'm just doing 50 plants of those. I'm just gonna do a variety of the different colors that I have. And also I'm gonna start another round of blue plurum to have. And then I'm also going to start lettuce so that I can have some 6-packs for the farm stand. And then also this week is planned, which I will get these started, is echinacea and lupin. So I am going to start those. The echinacea is not to put in my garden, my cut garden. It's to put just around in my flower beds. And I may grow some up in pots to sell next year at the farm stand. I'm not going to sell them this year, but sell them next year at the farm stand. And then lupin, same thing, just to kind of pop in my garden in places, and also to cut from my garden, and then also to probably pot some up and put them into the farm stand as well. So we're going to take some time this afternoon to get some seed starting done. I really don't know how interesting it is for you to sit there and watch me seed start. So just knowing, if I don't get any footage of that, I am seed starting as much as I can this afternoon during nap time. And then I am going to give you an update of all of the seedlings that I have, the good and the bad, so I can show you where everything kind of is at this point and how everything is doing. Right now my plans are up in the air of when I'm going to get these things planted out. I really need to wait until the temperatures are a little bit warmer for a consistent amount of time, which is not yet. This is really nice and pretty. Feels really good outside right now, but it is just holding on until spring. It's just a trick. So to show you the seedlings, I get to take you outside to show you a couple of things that are basically living outside at this point. So right here I have a couple of trays that I'm going to show you. I have 2 of each of these trays, and so I'm just going to show you these because the other ones look the same. I have decided with the sweet peas that I started my sweet peas way too early, and I was hardening them off in the greenhouse, and one night it got down to 28, and I didn't leave them out all night, but it got 28 at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I realized I had left them out there and I forgot. And so I didn't lose any of them, but I lost a lot of growth on a lot of them. For example, let me show you something that would be a really good example. Like, let's look at this one right here. This one right here. So the top was much longer. They were not hardened off all the way. So they were too weak to be out in that type of temperature. And so I ended up having to cut the top off because the top died. Now, the actual plant itself is fine because, as you can see, there's more growth right here that's coming out that is healthy. But I've lost all of that, unfortunately. And some of them, my chickens, some of them are doing really, really well, like this one is looking absolutely beautiful, making new stems, doing great. This one is doing really awesome. It's got all these stems coming off of the main. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, it would be funny if I had just planted these in the ground. This is also what would be happening too. Like these different, like these leaves would be dying because they got frost on them or whatever. But I wouldn't notice it as much, because I wouldn't be going down there all the time being finicky with them. But because they're sitting here and I see them all the time and I'm bringing them in and out and all those kinds of things, I notice them more and I'm a little bit more picky about them. So I did lose a couple of them completely. That's okay. I will not start these as early as I did last year. I did this as early as I did this year. I started these because last year, like I said, I put the seeds in the ground to get them to start germinating, and I would not even be doing that this year. So this year, next year, this is going to be more of a like late January, early February thing. Not an early January thing. So lesson learned. But they'll be good. They're still going to grow on. They're still going to get growth. They're going to be fine. And I may just buy a cheap pack of sweet peas just from your big box retailer, just to throw in the ground, just to have some extra. And then here are some pansies. These things are crazy tough. For example, I had some, I don't know if I can find an example or not, but anyways, I did the same thing with these that I did with these. I left them out for too long. It got too cold. I didn't leave them overnight. I just left them out too long. They weren't hardened off enough. And so the edges of some of these leaves were very, very sad. And had some really like yucky, some of them had wilted and were dying. And I was like, oh no, I lost like half of this tray. I did not. Within just a couple of days, in the center of these, some of these plants starts brand new growth. Plants are amazing. So anyways, again, I lost a little bit of time on these. They're not going to be quite as big as I want them to be at this point because I made that mistake. But they are still doing great, still doing fantastic. I like the way that I did the 6 packs for the farm stand plus this big tray, because the 6 packs, if any of them didn't germinate, I can just pull these out and pop them into that cell and still have a full 6 count cell. I really like how that worked out. So I will definitely be doing that again this year. I would hope that after we get this next cold spell, which is going to be which will carry us through mid-March basically, that I will be able to put these out after that. So I'm hoping by by late March, I should be able to put these out, is what I'm crossing my fingers for, but we'll see. These are sad. These are the lettuces I started for the greenhouse. I don't want to put them out yet because even with frost cloth, I'm a little bit worried about lettuce being in the greenhouse at 19 degrees. That's a little cold. And we're always colder than what the weather says it's going to be. So we're probably talking about 15 degrees at night. It's too cold for these little guys. They're sad. They really are. They're very sad. They're leggy. And again, this was my user error. I had plastic wrap over the top of all of my 6 cell trays, like I normally do, to act as a humidity dome to get them to germinate. And boy, they popped up and I just did not notice that they had popped up. So that plastic wrap, this is the negative part of plastic wrap. The plastic wrap was over top of them when they were trying to grow. And so it pushed them down instead of letting them spurt up. And so I have some leggy seedlings. Some of them I'm not going to be able to save. But other ones I am going to be able to save, because all I'm going to do is just plant the leggy part of them down into the ground. So just that foliage is starting to come up, and they will be fine. So I will have to weed through what is strong enough to do that and what is not. So again, lesson learned, and I would rather this have happened with the ones that I had than the ones that I'm going to be selling at the farm stand. So when I start those this week, I will be paying very, very close attention to what I am doing with those ones. I thought you might want to see a clip of my garden. It is actually wild how much snow has melted. I kind of do things based on what I can see and what I can't see. That wheelbarrow right there, 10 days ago, I could not see it. And now I could just wheel it around anywhere on the yard. It's really wild. Absolutely crazy how quickly everything has gone. I keep saying to myself, we do this every year. There's this real big push of snow melting and we're always surprised, but I don't think it's melted like this that I can remember for a while. So the bad part about this is like, as I'm walking on this ground, it's like all the trash and all the junk. And back here, this is my back, I'm facing my backyard. It is always extremely icy because right here behind this porch is shaded the entire day. So getting to the greenhouse, I have to be like uber duper careful. And there's nothing you can do about it. So we're popping in the greenhouse because I have some plants that have been staying out there. Woo! If the chickens can do it, I can do it. That have been staying out there and living out there. Even at night, the last couple of nights, it's been warm enough to keep them out here. So exciting. There's the cat enjoying his life. He's an outdoor cat. We don't let him inside. We throw him out in the snow if he does come inside. It's just one of those things. I don't blame him for being in here though. Whew, it is too hot in here. I'm getting a little bit worried about my tulips. Ooh, I'm gonna do this one actually. I'm doing the best I can to try to keep things cool in here. I don't have any electricity out here, so we don't have a fan. These are where the tulips lie, still dormant. I feel like they should have started popping up by now, but I have not seen a thing. So I am a little bit nervous about it. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, here's the snaps. Oh my goodness, they look so good. Snaps are like, I think they're becoming my jam. They're becoming my thing. Obviously had some germination issues with especially this one. This is the Potomac series. I don't know particularly why. This one did okay, but I've still got some empty cells. I was not planning on pinching any of these, but I think I am going to actually pinch some of them, because what you can do once they have 3 sets of leaves, let me see if any of these have 3 sets of leaves. They don't quite yet. So this is the first set of true leaves. This is the second set of true leaves. And this little guy up here is the third set of true leaves. You will pop that off, snip it off, and then you can actually bury it right into the soil and it will create another snapdragon. So this one, the one that I pinched, would branch out, which is not particularly what I'm looking for, because it makes, in my experience, a little bit of weaker stems, and the stems are a little shorter, and I didn't particularly want that. But then this one that I would put into the cell next to it will grow to be just one big bold stem. So I think I'm going to do that because I don't want to waste all these cells, and it did work really well to do that last year. So I will pinch and I will put it in a cell next to it, especially this one. Just a lot of missing things. I don't know why. I'm not really sure what happened. Nothing happened. It just, some things are just there's no rhyme or reason to it. It just is what it is, right? And so definitely this one, probably this one. I might as well just do all of them. So I'll end up having, 5 to 10 of each variety that are pinched, and that's fine. It'll be okay. We are back in the seed starting area, giving you an update. A lot of things have changed since the last time I showed you all of these seeds. I can't really remember what some of these things I can't remember what I had started and what I hadn't. So let me give you an update, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of it. So here are what my geraniums look like now, which is amazing. They're pretty much ready to be potted up. I need to be doing that soon. Here's the roots coming out the bottom. They definitely are ready to go into some larger size pot. Here is oregano. Looking super gorgeous, right? Oh, it smells so good. Best growth I've ever had on oregano. I don't know what I did differently, but sure did work out good this time. Roots are definitely getting way too long to be in here, so this needs to be up at the top of the priority list to get these into bigger containers. Jalapenos are starting to look good as well. Again, the roots are coming out the bottom, so they're ready to be potted up. Pretty much everything on that top shelf is ready to be potted up, other than the rosemary that is still pretty teeny tiny. I tell myself every year, start the rosemary earlier. I'm writing it down, start it earlier again, because it's still not, I would like it a little bit bigger than this by now, but that's okay. This is my first succession of larkspur on this side and then stock on this side. And I found it very interesting. This is my first time doing these. I found it very interesting, the slow germination on some of these. Like for example, this one is still coming up. So I kind of have some empty cells, which I was like discouraged about, but then I realized, oh, some of them are just gonna take a little bit longer. But these ones especially are really starting to pop up, which is super cute. I am not going through the stock and picking out the single flowering ones. I'm going to keep the single and the double, and we'll use them all just the same. Here is Lysianthus. You might not even be able to see those. Yeah, I guess you can a little bit. They have almost three sets of leaves on them. So they are definitely getting there. It wouldn't have hurt to even start them earlier than what I did. I mentioned last time, I wish I hadn't used these big cell trays. Just not really necessary. Only pot them up if necessary. So I know that for next time. I'll put that in my garden journal. These feverfew are looking amazing. Super gorgeous. Those are going to be like the perfect size when I put them out in hopefully a month. So let me tell you my story about the petunias. Up here, I had the purple double cascading petunias. These were treated exactly the same way as the petunias that were down here, which are the easy waves. Like same amount of heat from a heat mat, same watering situation, everything. And these overnight dried out, and the ones that have popped up, I lost most of them. So out of a 50 cell count tray, I ended up only having 2. I let them alone for a while just to see if anything else would germinate. Nothing ever happened. And so I ended up just moving the 2 purple double cascade petunias I had down to this one full of pink and labeling it. I'll show you. Pink one. Again, treated just the same as the purple. So I'm not really sure why the purple just was so fussy and didn't do very good, but I just have one little cell right there with both of them in there. And the rest are all going to be pink, and that's okay. You live and you learn. This is better than the last time I tried petunias. It's going much better. So this is the pink double cascading petunias. The easy waves are right here, also doing super well. All of them are, yeah, almost every single cell is germinated in there and growing well, so that's good. I've got basil down there with the plastic wrap over the top. So I got basil done today and I got straw flowers done today. That's all I got done today, but better than nothing. Here is the blue plurum. That is going good. These look like I can tell that these are gonna have nice looking stems for sure. I've never done blue plurum, so I'll be interested to see how that happens. For some reason in the blue plurum, a bunch of snapdragons ended up in there. I'm actually gonna pluck them out and put them into their own 6-pack. So I have them separate. I don't know what varieties they are, but just to at least have them separate. I'm not gonna get rid of them. I've got Swiss Chard right here, looking good. And I love that even when they're teeny tiny like this, they're the different colors. There's a yellow and the red and the orange. That's fun. And then I've got cauliflower. It's going really good. Broccoli is not going good. I can't, and I have no idea why. I don't have any clue why, other than if the seed that I had was just an old seed, but I don't think it was. I really don't remember. I really don't remember if it was or not. So that may be the problem, that maybe the broccoli seed was too old to germinate good. Now this right here is something new that I'm trying. It's called Linaria. And you might not be able to see it, but all those little green specks. I mean, you can barely, let me turn this way, maybe you can see better. You could barely see it, but a little bit. So I know nothing about this plant and I couldn't find anything really about the plant. No YouTube videos, no articles, no nothing. From what I can tell, this is a cool season wildflower. I don't know that it'll overwinter in my zone. I don't necessarily want it to overwinter because I don't want it to take over my garden. But I got this pack of seeds because my daughter bought them for me for Valentine's Day. And so I said, you know what? Let me just give it a shot and see what I can do with it. And so I kind of tried to copy the way that I had sown other cool season flowers and just see if it would work. So I put them in the freezer for about a week or so before I sowed them. And then I just sprinkled them right on the top, put the plastic wrap over it, and then did not put on a heat mat. Let it germinate by itself, and it germinated really, really quickly. So I'm very interested to see, I'll put a picture on the screen of what they're supposed to look like. I'll be interested to see like how tall they get, if they do well, if they'll work well in bouquets, that kind of thing. They look really pretty though. If anything, I will just enjoy them. So that's fun to try something different that I don't know anything about, to have kind of try to figure it out on my own, and then for it to have worked so far. We'll see if it keeps working. And then last but not least is that my tomatoes have started to sprout. I've got Cherokee sprouting, I've got cherry, I've got some peppers started too. I have some peppers in this container. Some red peppers starting to come. What is this one? Yellow brandywine. I've got one of those coming. So these are doing really good. Tomatoes, just, you can always trust a tomato to want to do good, to sprout well, to grow as hard as you can. I mean, you have to be doing honestly pretty bad for them to not do well. So I'm going to end this video for you today of a screen video of my phone of the future weather that we have going on for the next 10 days. It is wild because it's easy to feel like spring is coming. You want to like plant stuff out and like start feeling that way, but it is not even close. So take a look at these temperatures. We've got snow coming again. It's slowly making its way, but it's going to take a little while. Thank you guys for watching and coming along with me today. I hope that you had a great time following along, and staying updated on all of the seeds starting. Hope you're having a beautiful almost spring, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.